welcome again to the Buse and Bees podcast. I'm Buse, that's Bees,
Bees.
and welcome along to our wonderful little adventure. Tonight we'll be continuing the solo game with Mr. Char, our reluctant and very bad superhero. And I will let Bees take it away as our resident games master.
Resident Game Master. So, we're both Game Masters. We've both done this before, as we've mentioned previously on the podcast. And this game has actually expanded into a group of our friends, all of whom have also Game Mastered. Which I gotta admit really makes it easier to run a game when everybody in the game has run a game before. Because when you make very normal requests like, "Can you write me up a character background?" and crying out loud, don't all of you be orphans. So I actually have list me some contacts, people I would know. Yeah, thanks a lot. So I can actually put in some hooks into the story. They tend to do that sort of thing. Um, Calzone Golem, one of our friends, gave me an entire separate document of people he knows, which was awesome. And I'm working with another one of our friends tomorrow to work out because they haven't used this power system in probably about 10 years almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so they wanted to go over their character sheet with me, but they wrote me up a two-page story, which was good. And our other friend is so busy with real life that he's just not committing yet to doing the write-up. But when he does, I'm sure it'll be excellent. So we may go into that before we finish with this, the way things have been working out, because real life is hard.
Very.
And it interrupts the virtual world, unfortunately, which is okay. That's all part of life. When we left off, what's your character's name?
Char.
Char Frierson. With a name like that, he has no fire-based powers. Char Frierson. He's wanted by. We're set in Miami, so there's a superhero adventure set in Miami. It's an original world. There are no superhumans that the general public knows about that my player characters know about. As far as they know, they are the first superhumans they've ever heard of. It is established, however, that there are still just as many false psychics as there are in the world today, or false is probably a word that will get us a little bit of, if we ever get these posted, that'll get us a little bit of.
We need to fire our editor. Our editor is horrible.
Yeah, if we were paying him anything.
He gets paid in soda.
There you go. So I've started my solo adventure with Hellzone, and he went to a psychic, and they were not psychic. But that's if you don't know, that's what most people who claim to be psychics are, just really good at reading people. And there's a lot of TV shows out there debunking these folks, and I highly suggest you take a look into it because I honestly believe that paranormal is real, but generally psychics aren't part of that. Yeah. So, getting back to the game, we left off with Char. So, in the first adventure, we find out Char, prior to the adventure, got beaten up, got framed for a crime he didn't commit, admitted to the crime he didn't commit to get a lighter sentence. And when someone else was getting taken out of jail, their transport got attacked to free someone else, and Char took advantage of that and ran away. Tried to go back to his bosses and whatnot and figure out who set him up. And while being while talking to them, they set him up. Someone in that group set him up to get killed, and he was attacked and killed and thrown in a swamp. So the game starts with him coming out of the swamp, and he
Made many
runs
mistakes.
into. You want to take it from here?
No, I was gonna say I made many mistakes.
Yeah. So he gets in a car. A car stops to pick him up, and you can go back and watch those adventures as they ensue, and ends up getting into a confrontation with a cop, and from there reveals himself without realizing it to the police force of Miami, the Miami cops, and gets caught on camera, both the dash cam and the body cam of the police officer, who has a name now, but I don't remember it.
Lawrence
Uh,
McPherson or Miss Lawrence McCooperson.
McCooperson. McCooperson is not a real last name. I googled it. Um, Larry. That's right. So,
Larry the Cable Cop.
something like that. Lord, I apologize if you started pygmies in New Guinea. So Larry goes. So Char makes it back to his brother's place. Um, he updates him. They go out from there. Char spends the next day tracking down Larry and finding out his name. Goes to his house in the shape of a dog. Gets into a fight with Larry, and ends up having a conversation with the chief of police on a phone, on his phone, Larry's phone. I don't remember,
Yep, Larry's phone.
but yeah. Did you throw that phone in the pool? I forget.
Yes, I've got notes in front of me.
All right, good. And then Larry ended with I thought he ended. He told the chief that if the chief was willing to work with him, then he would make Larry captain by the end of the week.
Yes. And then I snuck back to my cousin Bob's house, found
And
out that he was under surveillance, snuck into the house, and after scaring cousin Bob a little bit, he gave me a shot glass of water. I am 1 inch tall and sleeping on the counter or in the garage or something.
probably in the garage so the kids don't see it.
Yeah. Well, I'm 1 inch tall.
Yeah, well,
A,
right on the counter would still be something to talk about.
but a cracker and a shot glass full of water last a long time when you're 1 inch tall. It's like a large pizza.
All right, so that's the basic recap. Okay, so hold on, let's see if anything happens during the night. It's the next morning. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, I I'm making your. You've got me on speaker, don't you?
Yes. Well,
Ah,
oh, you're picking up the echo of yourself. I'm so sorry.
so it's got you looking. It's got your portrait looking like you're trying to say something. All right, not a problem. So unless do you want to do anything that night? You've
Nope.
got your cracker and your shot glass full of water.
Yep. Just eating, drinking, sleeping.
All right. So we're gonna zoom to the next morning. It's the next morning. What do you want to do?
Well, like I told Bob, I'm gonna wait for Bob to wake up, but my goal is to go with Bob to work. Uh, you know, travel in his shirt pocket or whatever. Go with Bob to work, and then I should be able to sneak out from there. It'll bring me closer to downtown, I assume. He works at like a boat sales place, I think. And yeah, that's my initial plan.
Do you want to role play this, or should we just put you in Bob's pocket and off we go?
Unless you plan on something happening, I figure that's just how it'll go. I'll wake up. I will be making sure I stay away from the kid and his wife. And when I can get Bob alone, I'm just gonna be like, "All right, I'll turn into a piece of paper. Just slip me in your pocket. When you get to work, toss me in an open top trash can. I'll slip out, and then we can go from there." That's my plan.
So you're turning into a piece of paper.
Some sort of trash for him to be in his pocket, but yes.
All right. So I'm assuming it's going to take you a while because you're not too good at your powers yet.
That is true.
Okay. So you turn into a piece of paper,
Mm-hmm.
unless there's something else you want to turn into right now.
We'll go with a credit card. It's a bit more rigid.
A bit more what?
Rigid.
Ah, whatever makes you unhappy. So now you're a credit card. Abracadabra. Hold on one second. So you turn into, I got something in my eye. I apologize. Turn into a credit card. You had your cracker breakfast, um, or whatever you ended up eating. Maybe he brought you a Cocoa Puff. And as you walk, you're in his pocket. What pocket do you want to be in?
If he has a shirt pocket, I'd prefer to be up there. If he
Let's
doesn't,
say he does.
yeah,
Fair enough. He sells speedboats, high-end speedboats, so he's wearing a shirt and tie
that's
and
perfect.
a jacket, a vest jacket, not like a jacket, but a suit jacket. So you're in his you're in his pocket. He lets you know he hasn't told Lee anything about you or the kids.
Probably a good plan.
So as you feel yourself walking um, out of the house and you hear the door close behind you, suddenly you hear sirens going off, police sirens, and they're getting louder.
Bob, I feel like they're here for me.
Are
I
you saying this out loud or
One second. Yeah, but I assume I'd be whispering it. Bob, I think they may be here for me.
he says just play it cool?
Well, they'll.
But he keeps walking to his car.
Mm-hmm.
The sirens are getting louder and louder, a lot louder. And now you know they're nearby, but you feel him just keep walking.
Okay.
You want to do anything?
Not much I can do.
Well, what you can do. That's why I'm asking you.
Oh, sorry. There's not much I can do that, if they are nearby, that won't reveal that Bob's helping me. And I don't want him to get in trouble. It's easier for me to kind of escape out later.
All right. So as they, I can't describe to you what's happening
Yeah, we can assume I can hear, but
because
probably
you
not.
can't see anything.
I mean, because hearing is a matter of vibration, so yeah, but should have taken radar sense.
I don't know if that would help you much being in a pocket either.
Yeah, valid.
Your radar sense tells you you're in a pocket. All right. So, all right. I'll get into a little bit of character here. So Bob stop. You feel Bob stop, and he goes, "Hey, Char, can you hear me?
Yep.
They're not here for you. There's like 16 SWAT guys here, and they're all at a house across the street, all lined up and circling the house.
I had assumed the surveillance was for you. Did
That's what you said last night.
I? It was a reasonable assumption. You're my closest friend, my cousin.
You hear shouting going on around you, but you can't really. Give me a perception roll.
That I can do. 19.
You hear shouting. It's very loud, but you can all you can make out you hear warrant and open. Out of all the words, out of everything you hear, that's all you can really make out.
Do you have. I mean, do your neighbors seem squirrely at all previously, as far as you could tell?
Nobody talks to anybody anymore.
Oh, you seem like an outgoing guy. Figured you'd invite the neighbors over for a barbecue, have a beer.
Not anymore. Um, Not since my cousin went to prison for robbing a bank.
I heard he was innocent. He just had a really bad lawyer.
I hear that. Yeah, public defender, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Should have called Saul.
Eh, he was busy.
Still want to go through with this, or
Yeah, I mean, they're not here for us, so just in case somebody is watching you, I think it's
I
still.
I can't get the car out of the driveway right now. I'm gonna have to call in late to work.
Did your
You,
neighbor did your neighbor seem suspicious at all?
they never talk to me. I don't even know who owns the house.
Okay. All right. All right.
We only moved in here like what 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
It's one of the lowest crime neighborhoods in Miami.
Yeah, no, I said it's fine. It's fine.
All right, I'm calling into work. So you hear the phone call. He's basically like, "Yeah, there's cops blocking me in." What did you do? Nothing. I didn't do anything. There's a guy across the street is getting raided right now. So I'm going to be late. I can't actually get my vehicle out of the driveway yet. So, okay. Yep. I understand. No, sir, it won't happen again. Not that I plan on it happening this time. Yeah. All right. See you when I get in. I don't know. Hopefully less than 20 minutes. All right. Bye.
I guess you get to spend more time with your wife and kid.
Yeah. That's what I'll go do.
Is it summertime? Fall time? Have we discussed the time of year?
We, when did we start this? Back in June, July,
Yeah, roughly.
maybe May? When did we start doing these things? So we'll say early summer, late
Okay.
spring.
So the kids would have been home anyway. Well, they're not teenagers, so they would need some sort of activity, but yeah.
Well, they're probably still going to school because it's, May, June. It wasn't July when we started doing this.
Okay. You said early summer, though, so early summer, I assume kids are just out.
I thought summer started on May 21st.
If you go by the technical definition. I get it. I get it.
So Bob's going to walk back into the house and strike up a conversation with Lee and the kids and tell them what's going. Hey, they're they're already looking outside, but they're not coming outside.
Hmm.
So he just walks back in, and I'm not going to role play him talking to
That
his
is
wife and two kids.
perfectly acceptable.
Um, you want to stay in the pocket?
Yes, because I don't want the kids and Lee to know I am there.
All right.
I'm
So
trying to keep them as safe as possible.
they're kind of talking about what happens, and a bunch of guys go into the front door, uh, full riot gear, um, tack vests, armor, not armor, but bullet resistant armor, bulletproof vests, though they're not really bulletproof. Uh, Rifles, some automatic rifles, helmets, shield thing, boots, camo pants, the whole 9 yards. SWAT. They look like you can look up a SWAT officer. You'll see what they look like. So they bust in there and they just keep piling in until finally, about 10 minutes later, they walk out with three different people in handcuffs and lead them to one of the SWAT vans, the different police cars that are there. And it's probably about 20 minutes before the police start. Most of the police leave with one patrol car left there. What do you want to do?
Waiting in his pocket. Plans have not changed at all.
Okay, so Bob goes back to calls his boss, says, "Hey, I can get out. I can get going now. Um, I'm heading your way." Gets in his car and starts driving.
All right. Hey, Bob. Is it safe to talk?
Yeah, we're in the car. All the phone, my phone's off. What's up, Char?
Okay. So, I am going to try to come back to the house tonight. I will try to get out of there as soon as possible. I don't want to put you guys in any more danger. Uh, but I could use a favor. Uh, if on your way home today, I hate to borrow more money from you.
Of course you do.
Do you know of any costume shops in the area?
I'm sorry, I did not get that. What did you say?
Do you know of any costume shops in the area?
Oh, costume shops.
Costume shops, yes.
I thought you were saying something about cops.
No, no, costume.
Uh, no, but I could Google it for you.
A couple of things I'm gonna kind of need. If you can get me some short wigs, some fake facial hair, and just go to Walmart and buy me a couple of pairs of jeans and some polo shirts and a backpack, maybe.
Can I just give you like $100 and you can do this while I'm at work?
I can't quite change who I look like, only what I look like. These powers are weird. I could wrap my finger around a pencil, but I can't change my facial shape. I can make myself look like a pair of shoes
Or a credit card?
or a credit card, but I can't make myself look like you. Maybe in time.
Okay, I don't know when I'm gonna have time to do this. Um,
If you can't do it today, that's fine. And even if it takes a few days, that's fine. But I want to be able to walk around and just being able to change the structure of my face, even some makeup or whatever. Just anything to just make myself so I can make myself look a little bit different. And it's Miami.
so
No matter how
give
different I
me
look. Sorry, go ahead.
give me a con roll because disguise is under con.
Yep.
So
And I'm depending upon that. Oh, thought I had con. I have sneak. 13.
all right, that works for you. Don't really get any additional knowledge beyond what you've already said at that point. Um, you probably want some makeup
I said
so you
makeup.
can change. You did say makeup?
I did say makeup.
Yeah, you're really echoey to me.
I'm sorry. If I can find my.
No, it's all right. Could be my ears.
Yeah.
All right, so write me up a list of what you want, and I'd say email it to me, Char, but I don't know how you're going to get access to email, and they're probably watching your old accounts now anyway.
Yeah. And well, I still wouldn't be surprised if they, especially now with the feds involved, if they might start pulling. If they can get if they can get a warrant, they might start monitoring your stuff as well.
Yeah, so write me up a list. I can't do it today. I might be able to get it done tomorrow.
Yeah, I would suggest cash. I know maybe I've watched way too many spy movies, but I'd assume you should probably pay with cash and not order them off Amazon.
Yeah, that's a given.
Okay. All right. Well,
Bet it's not near Halloween. There's a couple of places that turn into Halloween stores.
yeah. What can you do? But it's Miami, so I know that there are costume shops around. I mean, you got those people down by the water who, occasionally dress up for the kids. You have those women who do those princess birthday parties for kids and stuff like that. So I know there's got to be some shops around.
I don't think they need fake beards, those princess girls, though.
No, that is accurate.
Well, maybe some of those princesses down at Disney World right now. Have you heard about that? That's crazy.
uh, so, and I'm just gonna put it underneath the last part of my under my notes from last time. I'll put the list there.
That works.
Okay.
I must ask you a question. What do you? So the plan goes off without a hitch,
Okay.
um, unless you want to change it before
Nope.
we zoom to that part.
Nope. So he throws me away.
He tosses you in a dumpster. Uh, hold on a second. So not too far from his work is a restaurant called Barefoot Pete's. That's on the that's right on the beach.
Hmm?
And so he walks through there and he tosses the card in the dumpster behind the building,
Okay.
and he just keeps walking.
That's what I expected. All right. So I'm going to use my powers to try to turn into a mouse unless you interrupt me, and I will take double time.
You're turning into a what now?
A mouse.
All right, go for it.
Probably should have done rat, but whatever. 7.
I had these rules quasi memorized too. Well, I was more familiar with them. Oh, I can't see. Hold. All right, you make it into a mouse.
Okay.
Um,
And then I'm just going to climb out of the dumpster.
all right, give me a climb roll.
Glad I'm playing to my strengths.
I'm sorry, what?
But I'm glad I'm playing to my strengths. I actually have climb improved.
Yeah.
15.
You easily climb out of the dumpster, and while you're doing that, give me a perception roll.
15.
What was it?
15.
15. All right.
15.
So as soon as you get to the top of the dumpster, you hear a commotion and some yelling back and forth. And as you get to the top of the dumpster and you look around, you see a guy standing over a guy, and the guy on the ground has a number of purses and handbag looking things. And the guy standing over him is basically yelling at him, saying, "Give the stuff back." And the guy on the ground just gives him a kick in the shin slash knee area and takes off running. And another guy comes out of the restaurant. He starts shouting and running after them both. And then you see a seagull, not them both, after the younger kid looking, not kid, but late teens, early 20s. The other two guys are adults in their 30s or 40s. And the kid who's running away, you see a seagull, which was not too far from you, get up off the garbage dumpster and go flying after this guy and pecking at his head. But he turns a corner and off he goes, and the other two guys are chasing after him.
What did he say to the guy on the ground again? The guy that was. So the guy holding the purses is on the ground,
Yeah.
and there's a guy
So
standing over him yelling at him. What did he yell at
so
him?
there's a guy who's around 20, maybe a little younger,
Mm-hmm.
uh, clutching a bunch of purses, and the guy standing over him who gets kicked in the shin is basically saying, "Give me the purses back. Give them back. Drop them." Something to that effect.
Do I think I can catch them in mouse form?
Maybe, but there's another seagull sitting on the whatchamacallit there, garbage bin dumpster.
Is it looking at me?
Not yet.
Do seagulls eat? I'm gonna roll a knowledge roll. See if I know if seagulls eat mice. Because I don't think they do, but I'm not sure, and I think my character wouldn't know either. It's not exactly general knowledge he has to worry about. 10.
Hold on, I'm typing on the wrong keyboard.
You're looking it up in Google, aren't you?
Yeah, they eat mice. They're predators. They're not omnivores, and they'll eat rabbits. You've seen them attack small cats and those small dogs. You've lived in Miami a long time. There's a lot of seagulls.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of pigeons, but there's a lot of seagulls.
Well, from what I see, seagulls also eat other birds, so.
You know why seagulls don't ever fly over bays?
Bays? Like
Yeah,
water?
bay.
Yeah. No.
No, the water.
Why?
Because if a seagull flew over a bay, it would be a bagel.
Really, bees? Oh.
Sorry, back to the game. Yes, seagulls eat mice.
This is a bad idea. 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 I'm gonna start booking it after the guy around the corner.
Are you going to sneak it all, or are you running all out?
Running all out. I'm rolling my running right now. 14.
You are able to follow them. Um, you see, uh, they're the two guys are shouting at the kid. The kid still has the bags, and the older gentleman who wasn't the first one on the scene, but the second one on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
He's about 40. The other guy looks like he's about 30, and the 40-year-old just falls down for no reason, and the 30-year-old goes to help him up, and then they start running out, chasing after the kid again.
Is the seagull still attacking the kid's head?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to attempt something. I'm going to
All
try.
right.
I'm going to try to use command, and I'm just going to yell as loud as I can from my little mouse body. Hey, everybody stop and put your hands above your head.
Your mouse size.
Yep, they may not hear me. And
Hold
even
on.
if they do, it might. I don't know how it's going to come out because I've been able to talk in glob form. I've been able to talk in credit card form. So I will let you as a GM decide how this will happen. But for my command, I did get a 23.
So the 30-year-old guy looks around. Oh, your video froze again. So the 30-year-old guy looks around, but the other two don't seem to have heard you at all.
Okay, one sec. Better?
Yep. That's annoying.
Yeah, don't know why it's doing it.
You try turning off your video and turning it back on next time.
That's what I just did.
Oh, it worked great.
Perfect. All right. So there's 3 guys total or 4 guys total? 3 guys after one or 2 guys after one?
There's two guys running it. There's a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, and a 40-year-old.
The 30-year-old stopped. The 40-year-old is still going after the 20-year-old.
Yeah. So he's chasing him directly. The 30-year-old starts um, running down a different alley.
All right. Well, I'm just going to start running. I'm just gonna start running. I'm gonna keep trying to keep up with the 40 and 20-year-old. Running again, I assume.
Give me a luck roll first. And first
3.
off, if I also get a 3,
Mm-hmm.
Seagull notices you.
I understand.
Seagull does not notice you.
That's great.
So who are you running after?
The 2. The
All
30
right.
and sorry, the 40 and the 20.
So the 20-year-old is making really good time,
Mm-hmm.
and you're barely able to pace them because they're not.
Because I'm a
Mice
mouse.
aren't that fast. They're
They're
pretty
quick.
fast.
They're quick, but they're not fast.
Yeah. Like in a straight dead run, which is what these guys are doing, you're barely able to keep pace with them.
Yep,
And it's more like you're able to keep them in view and you see them outpacing you. Does that make sense?
it does.
Yeah. But you follow them as they turn around the corners and everything, and the older guy is doing a really good job of keeping pace with the younger guy. And he's kind of starting to gain on him.
All right, I'm gonna try this again. If this doesn't work, then I know what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna try as I'm running. I said stop and put your hands above your bleeping head. Ah. 14. I'll have to find it
So
later.
the older guy, I'm gonna call the younger kid a thief. It's pretty obvious he's a thief, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't trust anything at the moment, but trying to figure out what happened because I also don't want these
Well,
guys beating the crap
you
out of.
saw you saw the older guy actually come out of the um, Barefoot Pete's, the restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
and he's wearing an apron.
Yeah,
I forgot to tell you that, didn't I?
yeah.
Both of them are the two older guys are both wearing aprons. Sorry,
Okay.
the kid is not.
Oh,
He's dressed in worn street clothes.
okay.
Not horribly worn, but clearly this isn't the first time he wore that particular combination of t-shirt and jeans.
Gotcha.
So the older guy doesn't even seem to hear you.
Mm-hmm.
The younger kid jerks his head around like that, and he's looking around, but he doesn't slow down, and he keeps running.
So they're both still running.
Yeah,
All right. I'm gonna
you
stop. I'm gonna
you
stop.
feel like you're going to lose them this turn if they turn down an alley or anything, you are losing ground on them.
I'm going to probably. I'm hoping to regain after I do this. I'm going to. I'm gonna stop. Take 2 rounds. And I'm small, so I'm gonna have to change my size as well.
If you want to go human again, yeah.
Well, what if I want to go like dog? A decent sized dog.
Let's say that's one scale higher than where you're at.
Exactly. That's part of the problem. Um, you know what though? I'm gonna have to do it. So I'm going to just first turn. I'm going to try to change my scale because I can't do this while I'm moving unless I use character points. So got a 10 to change scale, so I can go up once. I can go up from to medium.
Congratulations, you are now an EverQuest giant rat.
Excellent. I
A rodent of unusual sizes, if you will.
this is Miami. Stranger things have happened. I'm
You're
going to.
roughly the size of a capybara.
I'm going to start.
Not much strangers happen than that.
I'm going to start running after them again, though. I saw generally where they went.
All right. The giant rat. Um, it's going to take you a turn
Mouse.
to.
Mouse. Giant
Yes, giant
mouse.
mouse.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
It's gonna take me a little bit to catch up, but it's gonna be easier to catch up when my legs
Oh
go
yeah.
from this big to this big.
So you can see them in the distance. The
Mm-hmm.
kid is running straight, for whatever reason. And so in the first round, while you shapeshift, he's running straight.
Mm-hmm.
In the second round, while you start running after him, you feel like you're starting to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Third round. What do you want to do?
How close am I?
Rough estimate 40 feet away.
Okay. I'm gonna run until I'm at least within 10 feet of the 40-year-old trailing behind him.
Right. So you're not going to make that this round.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's why I
So
phrased
in
it that
this
way.
this round, the kid, you see him suddenly just stop and start to fall over, and the 40-year-old just slams into him like football tackle, drives him to the ground. And then you see the other guy, you hear the other guy call, "You all right?" "Yeah, I'm all right. I got him. I think I got him."
Oh, the 30-year-old slammed into him, or the 40-year-old did?
You don't see the 30-year-old yet.
Oh, I
You
just hear
hear
him.
him. So I'm going to give you this one. You assume he cut down and then cut over
Mm-hmm.
along a
I
different
kind
because
of
you
assumed
saw them
that's
go.
what he was going to try to do. Yeah.
All right. So that's what you see so in front of him. The seagull left at some point during this chase.
I'm glad. Although at this point, it probably would have anyways. He probably would have noped out after I turned a little bigger there. Maybe.
So they're busy wrestling the kid, and when he gets tackled, the purses go flying.
All right. I'm going to try this one more time. Command of 16. I have told the three of you to put your hands over your head for the third time. Do it now! What is the willpower on these guys? Goodness.
Not the willpower, it's the volume.
I'm bigger now. Hopefully, it shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah. So I'm changing the modifier I'm using. So I'm rolling the perception to see if they hear you.
Mm-hmm.
So the only one that seems distracted at all by you screaming
Mm-hmm.
is the kid, who looks directly in your direction and his jaw drops, and then he gets punched in the face. Because the other guy's not looking at you and he doesn't seem to hear you, and you don't see the 30-year-old yet.
I'm going to grow again as a mouse.
Are you going to grow or are you going to shapeshift?
I'm going to grow.
All right.
I'm going to try to scare the crap out of them. And I got a 5.
A very easy roll allows you to increase one scale level and around. You are now a human-sized mouse.
I'm going to walk over to them and put my.
You're not close enough.
I thought I was within 10 feet because I was saying I was trying to be within 10 feet of them.
This is still that round. You
Oh!
haven't caught up.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Like
Till the
that
next round.
round where you were running,
Oh,
they
gotcha.
like it's going slow so you can see everything that happened, but the kid stops, the purses go flying, he gets tackled.
Okay. I may have been rolling a little higher for that, but we'll because I thought it was next round, but that's fine. We'll take the extra round. I'm going to approach them.
So you haven't grown yet. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. So he sees you, he gets punched in the face. He kicks the guy. So this starts the next round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He
I'm
kicks the
gonna
guy.
not do this in order.
I
I'm
gr-
gonna tell you what happens, and then you can react.
well, this round I would grow because that would be
This is the round you would grow. Got it.
because technically I when I rolled I thought it was the next round. So
All right. So this is the round you would be growing in.
yes.
Um, he sees you the
Hmm.
previous round. So this round, he struggles out of the 40-year-old's grasp. You see the 30-year-old walk, like running into your alley from a different alley,
Hmm.
but the kid kicks out of his grasp and just starts booking it. He leaves the purses. He doesn't try and grab them, and he just starts running away. And the two other guys are standing there staring after him, and they're checking on each other to make sure they're all right. Are you sure you still want to grow?
Yes.
Okay, you're a human-sized rat. How do you want to move?
Mouse. Um,
I'm sorry, mouse.
I want to be a smart aleck, but I'm just gonna say, move out of the way, and I'm gonna start running after the kid.
Okay, they just kind of step to the side, and whether or not they see you, you're not sure because you're no longer looking at them, I
Hmm.
assume.
Correct. Yeah, I'm going after the kid.
And you're chasing after the kid.
All right. Tell me if you need me to roll anything or when I catch up.
The kid zags down a different alley. I assume you follow him.
Yep.
Yeah. So he sees you and he starts screaming at you, "Leave me alone, you crazy rat!
I'm a mouse.
You're a freak!
Stop. Don't
You'll
make.
eat me!"
You're a little too stringy for my tastes.
He keeps running. He's about to run out of alley and into a major walkway.
I'm gonna try to stretch my arm and grab him.
Go for it.
This is gonna be difficult. Well, technically not difficult, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Okay. So, how close am I to him?
You're within stretching range, maybe 10 feet away. You're faster than him at this point. You're considerably faster than him at this point.
Well, no, because I was just wondering, because if it's 18 feet on an easy roll, but if he's 10 feet away, then hopefully that means it would be a very easy roll for me to stretch to him. I'd assume. Oh, wait. Never mind. Never mind. I apologize. It's not 18 feet on an easy roll. That's someone with 3D. So this would be 9. No, wait. 6 feet. This would be 6. I can do 6 feet on an easy roll. Okay. 6 feet on an easy roll. The math.
Yeah, that's why I said to work it out beforehand.
Yeah. I was looking at it wrong.
This may seem like a great deal of calculation to do on the spot, and it is, but characters do not increase powers in the middle of an adventure.
I think I always get confused because with the 1D equaling 3 pips ahead of it, I assume the rest of it is for 1D. I know it's not, but my brain always processes it that way. So, all right, well, we'll see if I can pull it off. Well, I'm within 10 feet though, so if I'm within 10 feet, I can move and be closer. Well, we'll see what you say with my stretchy roll. I failed. That was a botch,
It
and
was a pure botch.
it was a one.
Okay, you completely miss him.
I understand.
However, he sees you, and that freaks him out, and he trips and falls on his face.
All right. I am going to. I'm going to walk over to him. I'm going to grab him by his feet and just start dragging him so he's not. Because you said he was about to kind of run out of the alley and into the main, like into like a major area. I'm going to try to just grab him by the feet and just drag him back a tiny bit. I apologize to his face in advance.
Hold on 1 second. So I'm using a random name generator to name this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and it just came up with Fedelmind Ferdinand.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going with that. This isn't much better, but at least it's English, or something I'm used to. Finn Everest.
Fair enough.
I may not go with that.
You didn't even have to do this until I asked his name.
All right. So what did you say you were going to do with this guy?
Just gonna grab him and drag him a little bit just so he's not like directly in front of like an alley that leads out to a main road.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, he's in an alley that leads out, and it's not like it's a major thoroughfare for
Okay.
cars. You're out of an alley.
Okay. All right. But
It's like a walking area,
I don't see
small road.
I don't see many people in the area at the moment.
Well,
I'm
give me
gonna
a perception roll if you really want to, but you don't see out of the alley.
okay. Uh,
Not
10.
without radar sense or X-ray vision.
I got a 10. It's moderate. I feel.
Okay, so there's definitely traffic going by on
Mm-hmm.
the road, not a lot.
So not enough that
Um,
unless someone was looking at me, they would probably notice.
yeah, there's nobody at the end of the alley, and nobody's looking at you, and there might be people out there. You're not 100% sure.
What in the world did you do, kid?
I'm just trying to survive, man. I'm having a bad day, giant, stretchy Armstrong rat. Ah!
You can call me Stuart.
I don't want to call you anything. Leave me alone.
Listen, I think we might be able to help each other.
You have money?
I do.
Then what can I do for you, Stuart? He hasn't gotten up yet. He's still kind of freaking out.
Of course he is. I will give for $5. Would you be willing to?
$5?
Hey, beggars can't be choosers,
What do
and
you want?
and thieves who get caught by giant mice really probably don't want to tick anybody off. Just saying.
You're not very good at this, Stuart. What do you want?
I want you to deliver a message to a friend of mine.
Say that again.
I want you to deliver a message to a friend of mine. I'll give you an address. You just have to knock.
Okay.
I'll give you an address. You have to knock on the door and just tell my friend Larry that
Larry.
Larry. His name is Larry
Okay.
McCooperson. Nice guy. You'll like him.
Whatever.
Just tell him that I'm sorry for any trouble I caused. I hope he gets a promotion and I won't bother him again. That's it. $5. I'm going to give you the address. Just go ahead and do it.
All right. So I tell him Stuart is happy that
Don't have to give my name. Just say your friend. He knows who I am and
my friend, the giant talking rat, got it.
leave the rat part out. You can say it, but don't you think it would make you sound a little crazy?
There is nothing about this day that hasn't been crazy.
And what were you doing stealing a bunch of purses? You just steal one, man. Maybe two.
They
And
were all sitting there on the rack. And until the dishwasher saw me, I was almost out the door.
exactly why
I don't know how he saw me. The owner didn't see me.
that's why you only take one. You take one, you're less likely to be noticed. You take two, it runs a little bit higher. Once you get above two, man, I've worked
I'm
security.
arguing about stealing with a rat.
Mouse.
Whatever.
All right. So stay right there. Just give me a second. Because when I change, my clothes go into a different dimension.
Effectively, yes. Not actually. I'm not saying that's how the mechanics work, but did you say that out loud?
Yeah.
All right, allow me to respond in character. I'm sorry.
No, it's
I was
fine.
taking that as a GM comment.
It should have been, but since I've been talking back and forth with him, I said it out loud.
All right. A different dimension, really.
I got a 5 to take 10 seconds to change into human.
Hold on. I think that's enough. Let me just double check. You're human size right now, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Does this does this make you feel better?
All right. Sorry, I was still reading.
Nope, it's fine. Does this make you feel better, my friend?
A little bit. So what dimension does your clothes go into?
Um, Based on comic books, I'd assume some sort of pocket dimension that's run by the Fantastic Four. I don't know. Here's five
Of
bucks.
course.
Here's five
Of
bucks.
course.
I give him Larry's address. Oh, and
This is right on the edge of town.
I mean, if you prefer, I can bring you back to the restaurant.
Can't believe I would rather deal with a giant rat than a restaurant owner. Fine.
Strange things happen. I mean, if
Give
you
me the
want to,
$5.
I, or yeah, here you go. I mean, if you want to hang out later, you give me your number. I can give you a call. We can have some cheese.
Jeez. What are you, a French rat?
Mouse. Goodness.
Oh, right. Yeah, got that. Stewart.
What do you mean you got that, Stuart?
I forgot you were a mouse. Stuart Little. It took me a minute.
Who's Stuart Little? just joking with
Funny.
you. But if you
What was the one from the Disney movie there? The talking mouse from the Disney movie?
that was Remy. That was the French mouse. Oh, and
Remy.
oh
There
no,
you go.
he was a
French
rat.
mouse.
He was a rat. He was a rat. Uh, but anyways, well, like I
All
said,
right. So I just go tell Larry this and I get $5.
yep. And if you want to add in his dog misses him, that's fine too. But he might get upset at that, so I'll leave it up to you.
This guy's not going to hit me or anything, is he?
I doubt he's going to hit you. I'm apologizing.
All right. Do you have a phone number?
For what?
Because I need to call you.
You can give me yours.
I don't have a phone. It's been a weird day.
I
This isn't even the weirdest thing that's happened to me today.
Let's just say my job requires me to change phones as often as I turn into a mouse.
Well, it doesn't pay well if you're paying your informants $5.
I can bring you back to the restaurant.
I'm good.
Okay then. You have a fantastic day, and I
You too, Remy Stewart. You see him put the $5 in his pocket, gets up, starts walking away.
I'm pretty sure I just lost the $5, but we'll see what happens. All right. So now I'm back to looking like
I'm pretty sure you just if he follows through, he's gonna end up in jail. But
I'm aware he was going to end up in jail either way. Oh, because he also will, somewhat match the. If he gets, if Larry gets overzealous and arrests him, or brings him in for questioning, he's going to probably, if those guys report to the cops what happened, he's going to match the description of the guy who tried to rob them. So, you know, but he got $5 out of it. He can help. That can help him pay his lawyer.
did you take that off your character sheet?
I did. That's why I have 17 instead of 22. All right.
You're down to 3 character points?
Yeah, I used a lot of them.
All right.
That's why. That's why I'm not using anymore. I am learning to accept failure.
Good plan.
All right. So at this point, I'm going to go back to what my original plan was for the day. I've got a couple of questions regarding my background, and that'll depend upon what I do. Out of the 3 people who I'm pretty sure all framed me, which of them have I been to any of their houses before outside of the manager?
Hold on, let me scroll up here. Bank manager, the head IT, and the guy who really headed security. And on paper, you were the head of security.
Mm-hmm. I'm just asking, have I been to any of their houses before? Outside of the manager, because I assume I might know where he lives after working with him to try to clear my name. But I don't know if I know about the other 2. So I'm asking you. I'm sure I can find it out. But
you've been to how long did you work at the bank?
It I didn't write it down, but we'll say 2
And
D.
how old is Char?
I was putting Char at 30.
All right, so let's say you've been there at least 5 years. I'm going to say you gave these guys a ride home, one
Okay.
reason or another. Not saying that you partied with them or anything, but
Which of them lived in. Pretty much, I want to visit the one whose house I think is least likely to have security cameras.
ironically, that would be the head of security.
I am going to head towards his house.
Okay.
Uh,
So that's going to take you a while,
yep.
but time you have. Are you still in human form?
I'm still in human form, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to try to stick my best to places that are either really crowded so I can. I'm going to try to actually places that are really crowded so I can blend in. And if places look a little bit more like kind of more like too sparse, in my opinion, then I'll try to stick to really sparse areas. Like, I either want to be really empty or really busy, and do my best to minimize the stuff in between.
Copy. So you're walking along the beach for a lot of this.
Yep,
Okay.
that's fine.
Because you're not that far from the beach right now anyway.
Correct. Yeah.
Um, let me bring up a map of Miami.
Bienvenido a Miami.
So, all right. Uh, I don't know what any of these neighborhoods are.
That's fine. Just go with it.
Wow, that is not a beach at all. So anyway, you're walking for about 2 hours. Do you try and take a bus or anything? This guy lives halfway across town.
I'd prefer to avoid buses if at all possible. I'm
So it's probably going to take you another hour to get there.
1 second. I want to check. Yeah, um, I'm gonna avoid buses. And no, none of those look open. Those are more like buses. So sorry, I was if they had the type of trolleys that were kind of open on the outside, I would be willing to do that so I could face outside and not face people on board. But yeah,
So they have actual buses.
yeah, their trolleys are still buses. They're benches inside there, like actual benches inside the trolleys. But yeah, because I have been on the news, haven't I? Or no, have I not been on the news?
You have been on the news,
Yeah,
yes.
since
As you're listed as armed and dangerous, and a picture of you. Wait, you don't know this.
I'm assuming I might be able to tell as I'm walking by. I'm going to walk by some newspaper stands. So in fact, I'd walk by them in the middle of my town, and I don't live in a major city in the U.S. I'm assuming Miami would have, you know, you put in the 75 cents to a dollar. I'm now granted I might not be front page news. I'll let you decide that. But if I am front page news in the Miami area,
I'm going to say you're not front page news, but you may have heard your name on a radio broadcast a couple of times
okay, fair enough.
just by walking by places and you're walking along the beach. And yeah,
Yep.
this guy lives on the river,
Okay.
Miami River, or near it.
All right. Well,
Maybe not on it because he wasn't technically the head of IT.
I will. I'm willing to zing zoom to it unless you have something that happens to me.
Uh, Give me a random roll. Let me know if you get a 4.
I did not get a 4.
You did?
No, I did not.
Okay, good.
I
What
got a.
did you get?
I got a 1.
Well, that's not a 4, so you're good.
Mm-hmm.
My Sometimes this feels more like a game of Final Fantasy where you're just walking around and it's a random monster encounter. Okay, so yeah, you get there.
All right.
The place looks empty. It's still the middle of the day. It's now the middle of the day,
All right.
and yeah,
All right. I'm going to walk by the place, try to find the most secluded area I can, and shrink, and then turn into a mouse again.
okay.
Wait, no, yeah, double time. 6 to shrink. Wow, that's bad. 2 to change into a mouse on my first time. 9 on my second time to turn into a mouse. I'm taking double time for each of these. So that 2 was literally 2 ones.
You end up getting there, but it's going to take you probably about 10 minutes with the way you're rolling.
I understand.
Give me another random roll. If you get a 4, let me know.
I did not get a 4.
Okay, so give me a perception roll.
14.
You don't think anyone saw you?
That's good. Should have rolled a sneak roll to begin with, but I didn't, so. Just using natural cover. Alright, so I am going to now scurry as a mouse towards his house.
Okay.
Was not intending to rhyme, but it happens all the time.
Was that intentional?
Yes. Oh,
It's a house.
yep. Um,
It's kind of a nice house, actually.
Nicer than I remember, or same as what I remember?
It's about the same, but you know, it looks like over the last, there's been some recent changes. Uh, Paint job, the trim's different. There's some new, there's a new tree, there's an orange tree now where there didn't used to be an orange tree in the front garden.
So I'm going to both sneak and search around the perimeter just to see if I can find any obvious security, like, I won't even say obvious, anything like security related that I need to be careful of. So I'm gonna roll. So since I'm gonna be doing both at the same time, I'm gonna take negative D off both rolls. Sound good?
Yeah,
All right. For
-1 off both, right?
Yep.
Yeah, negative D, that's what you said.
So for
Did you
sneak,
change microphones or something?
no, this is the same one I've been using the past few times.
Weird.
No one else has said anything about it, but I tried even moving my speakers further away after you mentioned the echo.
C'est la vie.
So 16 on my sneak roll. And 14 on my perception slash search roll.
So you notice there's a neighbor uh, gardening in the backyard, not of her own house, not of this house, but she doesn't seem to notice you.
Well, I'm a mouse, so I would hope she wouldn't.
Fair enough.
But I don't notice anything security wise on his house.
Uh,
Because that's what I'm more looking for.
you don't see any security stuff on his house, no.
Okay. Do I find any holes?
You think you could possibly find a way to get in by one of the air conditioners in one of the windows. He's got window unit air conditioners.
All right. I'm going to I'm guessing a climb roll first then?
Sure.
All right. Since I'm still keeping sneak up, and by up we mean we talked before about combined actions. If you're going to constantly be doing something such as in this case sneaking around, if you're performing two actions at the same time, it's going to be negative 1d to both. So I'm stopping searching, but I'm not stopping my sneaking. So while I'm climbing, I'm still going to be sneaking. Yada, yada, yada.
Yep, you're at negative 1D.
This is this the wild die is doing pretty good for me. 16 on the climb.
You get up there.
Okay, can I fit in?
It's going to take. Give me a strength roll.
Can you botch on? Can I botch on this snake strength roll?
Uh,
It's a
yeah.
Okay, it's a 13. If
This is basically a dig roll, like Burrow. So did you botch?
Yep. So it brings it from a 13 to a 7. And I'm rolling
Okay.
on 3D. I got 2 6s and a 1.
Nice. You get stuck about halfway through. Have you ever set up an AC unit?
Yeah.
So they got those plastic screens next to it that are held in by screws.
Yeah, and most people have tiny gaps because you can never get it perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're squeezing through that tiny gap and you feel yourself get stuck. Give me another strength roll.
Instead of a strength roll, I mean, I'm at this point I'm stuck. I'm not going to worry about sneaking anymore. Can I try plastic body?
Sure.
Kind of like stretch myself in and through.
I'm with you.
And I will take as much time as possible and try to calm myself. 4.
Your powers fail you.
As they often do. All right. I'll try to do strength again to finish digging through.
Go for it.
12.
You make it through.
Okay.
You're now on the windowsill of a house. And your video cut.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And the radio play in the love of Charlie.
Okay. All right, I'm in the house.
You're inside the house.
All right. First thing I'm going to do is look for confirmation that he still lives here.
Okay.
So,
Are you going to turn back into human size, or are you going to do this as a mouse?
I'm going to do this as a mouse until I'm sure the house is empty.
Okay, because you're going to have a really hard time trying to get to like mail and stuff like that. Which is the first thing I thought of when trying to confirm that he still lived here.
What, mail?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like figuring out where his mail is.
Yeah, cause I mean, I would check counters, but you're right. I'd have to be.
You want to check the house first as a mouse and then transform?
Yeah, I'll check the house first as a mouse. Kind of.
I probably should have made you do like a knowledge roll or something, but your knowledge is decent.
All right. So I guess I'll search the house.
There's nobody in the house.
Okay. And I don't see any internal cameras as far as I can tell. Because that is something.
Give me a search roll.
Yeah. If I subtract the 1 in the highest die, I have a 5.
No, you do not find any internal cameras.
All right. That's fine. I'm going to learn to accept failure. All right, I am going to turn into a human because with that roll I feel like I need to.
All right, so you turn into a human.
All right. Thank you.
and you grow back up to normal size.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Takes time, but you get there.
I have a question. So, well, first I just want to confirm if he lives here. So I guess just do another search of the house in human form.
Yeah.
I'm. This is just kind of a cursory look over for the most part. I'm just looking to see if I
Yeah.
find mail,
So
credit
give me a
card.
luck roll and don't hit a one.
Okay, my luck rolls tend to be ones. That's well, but a 5 this time, so I'm good.
All right. So he's got mail sitting on, I don't know, the kitchen counter, maybe the end table. He's got some, well, I wouldn't say magazines, but because nobody buys magazines anymore, or rarely. Um, but
Circulars.
yeah, you
Yeah,
find some mail. It's addressed to him.
and 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 none of it's. Just making sure none of it's marked forward to or anything like that. Like someone didn't write on it or anything. Okay,
No, there's something that's addressed to his ex-wife, but you know that that's his ex-wife.
gotcha. Okay.
There's also, now give me an actual search roll.
Mm-hmm. Uh, 16.
You also find a letter that's addressed in English, and the return address is not in a language you recognize.
Wow, and I speak 4 languages.
The letters are not. Give me a knowledge roll.
15.
You think it's a Central Asian language, possibly Hindi or Punjab or whatever it is.
Understood. I
But it could also be something from like Afghanistan. It could be Arabic. You're not familiar with the script enough to know the difference.
okay. So this is what I want to do in his house. One, what time is it? As of this moment for my character, what time is it?
Like noonish, I guess. Sometime between 11 and 1.
I'm gonna roll knowledge, and I have a 5, which may or may not work for this. But
How
as
did you
far
get a 5 on 3 to, oh, right.
two twos and a 1. Um, as far as I know, was he the type of person to come home during his lunch break?
Not unless you had a reason.
Okay.
It's too far of a drive.
And last but not least, since it's 12, did he normally work until the end of the business day? Normally.
Yeah.
Okay.
He worked for you.
Yeah,
This guy
I know. He
was
worked.
your subordinate, technically.
He was my subordinate, but he really did the job mostly in its entirety. I just signed off on stuff. Okay, perfect. No, the reason I'm asking is because I'm just trying to give my character an idea of how long he has.
No, I'm with you.
All right. I'm going to. This time I'm going to search the house. I'm not going to toss the house. I'm going to try to leave as minimal as footprint as possible. But I'm looking for 3 things. One, any weapons. Two, anything that might look like it's even tangentially related to me being framed, as far as I can tell. And 3, any piece of electronics, whether it be an old cell phone or a tablet or a digital camera.
All right. Roll, I don't know. I gotta pee. I'll be back in a minute. But roll search, I guess. I'm
Search?
not sure the difference between that and investigate. Actually, I am. Roll search.
Yep. Yes, I'm weird.
All right, so what'd you get on your search roll?
12.
Well, all right. That's moderate, right?
Yep.
So in the garage, um, you find uh, an amazing security system, like 12 cameras, a big computer, a big console thing for it.
Hmm.
You find the box for it.
The box is empty.
It looks like it's got weight to it, and it looks like it's been opened.
All right. I'll flip it open a bit, and the stuff is still inside.
Everything's still inside. You were looking for electronics, weapons, and evidence, right?
Yes, electronics specifically, like an old cell phone. I mean, that is something I would have been interested in seeing, but like an old cell phone, a tablet, or a digital camera.
All right. So
But before we get to that, just because you mentioned me finding this box with a security system,
yeah.
I'm going to open it up and I want to steal a couple of things out of there. Minor things. Like the power adapter for the base unit and like one or two cables that go if it's got cable runs, then I would want to steal them. Ones that would go to the cameras. If it's wireless, no big deal. I would just take I would just steal like the power adapter for that, and maybe like the cable that goes from the power adapter to the cameras. I've dealt with wireless ones before, so the cameras, if they're not wired into power, you have to charge them separately. If they are wired into power, I want to kind of steal at least one of their power supplies as well.
Okay, it's a wireless system. Write down on your sheet what you've got.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna pack it up so it looks roughly the same. I'm literally just taking those out.
The only electronics. I'll let you finish writing.
I did.
Um, he's got a in his den. I
Mm-hmm.
guess I don't know what to call it exactly, but not the living room, but the side room
Yeah.
where he has a lot of his. He's got some tools and nothing extravagant,
Mm-hmm.
but electronics tools, a computer, a desktop, a triple monitor setup, like so you got like three monitors so you can see the side view when you're looking.
Mm-hmm.
A TV. Um, he's got uh he's got two plugs, two C-type cables, or you know what, Apple fast charge cables, uh, on the desk,
Mm-hmm.
but there's nothing attached to them. It looks like they're commonly used. Would probably be the best way to put it.
Yeah, probably his
I
normal
was going to
daily
say
driver
well
phone.
used, but that's a different connotation.
Yep.
He's got a TV in the room. That's all you're finding for electronics.
Okay. So no tablets, no iPads, no laptops, nothing. No old phones. Okay.
Not in the house.
Yep. Nope, that's fine. And that it makes sense. It is it was just a possibility because it's something someone might have.
Right. And old phones are usually traded in by most people I know don't keep their old phones.
This is the security guy, not the IT guy, so I have no issues. I wouldn't make an argument for him.
All right.
What time is it roughly?
Let's say 20 minutes had passed
No.
because you spent time with this taking very specific things out of the security box.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I don't need to know why.
It's to be annoying, But if he hasn't
I,
gone through it, no, it's as a GM, it's just a. It may affect things later.
all right.
It
So I um you find a gun safe upstairs in his room.
okay,
It's got an electronic keypad on it. It's not a very large gun safe either.
understood.
Probably like 5 rifles could fit in there and a couple of handguns, or a whole bunch of handguns.
Okay, so it's an actual like full gun safe, not a handgun safe. Gotcha.
It's yeah, it stands about
Is
I
it
don't know 4 feet high. It's about a foot, foot and a half wide.
stupid question? Is it a gun cabinet or a gun safe? I mean, is it thick? Is it like a thick, like a thicker safe? Even if it's cheaper, is it a thicker safe or is it like the sheet metal type cabinet one?
It's a thicker safe.
Okay.
It's got an electronic lock on it.
Yeah,
Um,
I know the type you're talking about.
all right. Do you want to do anything with that?
Yeah, I'm. See, if this was me, Buse, I actually have the skills that I think I could get into that. But my guy may not. So let's go with a technical roll to see if I know how to, if I can figure out how to bypass this to try to see if I can get this thing open.
Okay.
Because I don't have security, so
No, but you can fix a car.
I can. Have a 10. So I'm assuming probably no, I did not get in.
No, you did not get in.
All right.
Are you going to try and bypass it or anything?
I mean, that was what I was pretty much trying to do. So, depending upon the type it is, like, I would try any tricks I would know. So, if I found a big enough magnet in the house, I'd use that to try to see if I could shift it. If it has like a lock on there, I would see if there was any way I felt I could try to pick it or bypass or whatever. But if I can't figure it out, I can't. My character doesn't have the skills. Um,
You don't figure out how to get through it.
what I would like to do though is, can I find paper and a pencil or a pen?
Sure. Yeah. There's some by the there's a notepad by the not a notepad, a sticky note pad by the phone.
Okay.
It, in the living room, he still has a landline.
Okay.
I mean, in the kitchen, he still has a landline.
All right. At the risk of getting caught, I'm going to take a few sticky notes. I'm going to look at where the pen is and try to remember as best as possible because I want to put it almost exactly the same way back. First thing I want to do is, if I can find it, I want to write down the model of gun safe he has.
The model?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you get it.
Next, I'm going to do my best to copy that address that I can't read.
What address?
The one that you said, the return address that you said was
Oh,
written
right,
in
right.
either.
Yeah.
I forgot what the third thing was going to be that I was going to write down, but those two are fine. All right. Last thing I'm going to do here.
Well, you still were searching for evidence
Oh,
that
yeah,
incriminated you.
right. Okay, sorry. I thought I didn't find anything. My bad. So, am I still
Um, you don't, but you notice as you're looking through the house, you notice that he's made some purchases lately, like the TV in the his den is or the TV in the living room
Mhm.
is bigger than you remember him having a TV. Like it's bigger than you would have expected. It's like a 65 incher. It's not huge nowadays. You can get one on Black Friday, but
Well,
you know,
it's bigger than I would have expected. Not as big, not bigger than I necessarily expect now.
yeah. So he spent some money, and you don't know more money than you would expect from a guy who's been divorced and is paying alimony and child support.
Mhm.
You find pictures of his kids. Um, yeah. The laptop in his den is the laptop. The desktop in his den is very nice or very new looking.
For now. Um, I have a question for you. In the mail, I know it's 1 in 31 shot, if not less. Does he have any of his bank? Do I see anything that looks like it would be a bank statement coming in?
Sure.
Okay, I'll look at it later, but I'm just gonna commit a federal offense and just take that mail with me.
Out of all the things you've done, I doubt that's the one they're going to nail you on. But maybe they got a Capone on tax evasion.
Okay, so I'll continue searching the house. I'll give it about an hour ish of searching, see if I can find anything else that might be related. And if I don't, because I'm trying to keep track of time, as you could probably tell, I'm going to go into his computer room again.
All right, you're in the computer room. You didn't find anything else.
I'm going to turn on the computer. Does he have it passworded?
Yes. I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Roll 2 dice. If you get a snake eyes, then no, it's not passworded.
That's fine. I'm fine if it is or isn't. I assume it would be. Most people do. But, yeah, it's passworded. Okay.
That's why I gave you the lowest odds. It's actually harder to not put a password on a computer than to put a password on a computer these days.
Yes, because of how Microsoft set it up since realistically Windows 8. They make it more difficult. Make you sign up for that darn Microsoft account. Uh, Again, if this was the IT guy, he might not have because. But, anyways. Alright, so. I'm going to power down the computer. In his garage, did I see any just random spare wire or cable, even like unshielded cable that might be used to hold stuff up?
Tell you what, roll 2 dice. If you get 7, you found extra cable.
Okay. Darn 8. Um. Okay.
Most people just don't keep that stuff around.
I know, but I've known plenty of people who do.
On the other hand, he works security. Yeah, yeah, you find extra cable. Yeah,
Okay,
just wire.
that's perfect. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to take his computer out. I'm going to try to put it back as best as possible, close to as it is afterwards. But I'm going to. You said he had tools in there, so I'm assuming screwdrivers. I'm going to open up the side panel of his new desktop. I am. By the way, me doing this, I feel that this is something that somebody with 4D of computer programming repair should have the knowledge of. Tell me if you
Tell
think
me what it is you want to do.
I'm going to take the cables. I'm going to plug individual ones into each side of the outlet. And I'm literally going to take the ends of those cables, stick it in the power supply, and just aim for anything, a cap or a resistor. I want to have his power supply just blown out on his computer. That's all. Just little annoying things. This is all I'm doing right
Give
now.
me a give me a computer roll.
Computer programming repair?
Yeah, really like annoying people.
You've known me for how long, Bees?
You don't do this stuff to me, so
You didn't. I don't think you framed me for framed me and help me go to jail.
you don't know that this guy did.
I have suspicions, and I'm petty. Unfortunately, I botched, but if I subtract one in the highest, I have a 6. I'd leave it up to you.
Yeah, you blow it out.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna take those cables and again stick them in my pocket. Put everything back as best as possible.
Wires.
Wires, yeah. Sorry. Take those wires, stick them in my pocket, reattach the sign, put it back as close as I can think of to make it look right.
Give me a hide roll for your general trying to hide stuff.
Yep.
We'll hide the fact that you were there.
All right, and that'll count for everything I've done.
Sure.
Okay. 12. It is what it is.
You want to write that down in your notes. Hide roll of 12 to let hide what you were doing.
Okay. And at this point, I'm assuming it's probably what 3:30ish.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
All right. Is his door does his door have like is it like a double lock one, like a regular lock and like a deadbolt that he can lock from the outside? Or is it just a
Yes.
well, that sucks. Okay. Before I leave, did I come across another set of keys? Like a spare set of keys in the house at all?
No. Well, there's some keys by the door, and his extra set of car keys is there, like hanging on a little thing on the that says keys with a couple
Okay.
of hangers on it.
Do any of them look like door keys?
No, it's just the car keys.
Just the car keys. Okay.
Hold on. If you roll a 4, there's some other keys there.
I did not. Okay, nope, that's fine. All right. Well, I'm going to this might sound weird, but I'm going to try to make things easier for me. So I'm going to kind of stick my fingers in the gap on the window, and then I'm going to try to shrink to size so that I'm literally, hopefully, shrinking towards the gap. I'm going to stay human size, but shrink down to mouse size first as human, and then I will try to go from there. That way I don't have to try to. I'm trying to make it so I don't have to try to climb up to the window.
Go for it.
All right, and taking double time. All right, got a 9.
You pull it off.
Perfect. All right, I will turn back into a mouse. Double time. Botch on a 4.
You turn into something.
Try to turn again. Double time. Botch with a total of 6. And I know this is
6 makes it. You're a mouse.
Oh, yay. Even with a botch. Yay.
How did you botch and still get a 6? I thought you were only rolling 2 dice.
A 5 and a 1.
Oh.
I'm just
So
saying.
when you botch, just subtract the highest and lowest and give me the roll.
Well, if I botch on 2 dice, it's automatically a 0.
That is correct.
So I figured.
Say botch or 0.
Yeah.
But it's only 2 dice. So if you say botch and I got a 5, I'm thinking you're rolling 3 dice and you rolled a 6 and a 1 and a 5.
That makes perfect sense from your point of view. I was just saying in case as we've
No, I
discussed before, we GM somewhat differently. Sometimes I would, if they tell me the total roll, I might sometimes be like, eh.
right. So you did this earlier with 3 dice, and you just
Yes.
told me the botch got a 2 or whatever it was, or a
Yep.
5.
Oh no, I'm
So
I'm
that's what
I'm
I
not
was thinking you were doing,
I'm
and
not
it
putting
didn't
any
instantly.
blame on you. I'm just letting you know what I did.
No,
um,
I'm
but yeah. So okay. So
So,
zero
boys
zero.
and girls, this is something you have to do when you're playing a game like this, is to actually make sure you understand each other's jargon, your
Yes.
specific way of talking.
because otherwise you just get confused and
And some of this is easier, when you're in front of each other. So you can be like, wait, how
yeah.
did you do that? And eventually I might set up, if we do this again, I might try to set up another Discord account and just literally have a camera pointing down at dice. But,
Ah,
all right.
You didn't say it, so now there's ogres.
All right, and 5. No botch.
okay, you make it.
Okay. And I'm not really worried about sneaking so much this time. I'm just a mouse. I'm going to try to climb down to get to the ground. I lose more dice this way.
What happened? Why are you looking at me like that?
So I botched, and I was rolling 4D, and I have a total of 2. But
You fall, roll for damage.
the worst part is, all 4 of the dice were 1s.
That's impressive. Hopefully they got rid of all your bad rolls for the rest of the night.
Yes. All right, roll to resist him.
Roll to resist damage.
Okay. So 3D plus.
Boys and girls, that'd be a strength roll.
Indeed. But plus plastic body. Because it is physical damage. And plastic.
It is. So you would add 3D to your roll for you'd be rolling 6 dice.
And you cannot botch on resisting damage.
No.
And you should not drink fruit punch when you're on camera. Because your lips turn really red.
I can't tell.
Yeah. So much about getting rid of all of the bad rolls and all the 1s. I still got I got 4 1s again total. But I got a total of 13 on 6 dice.
You're stunned, but you'll be fine in a minute.
Okay.
You fell like 4 feet as a mouse, so
Oh, good. I
whatever
wasn't sure
the
how
height of a window is.
I wasn't sure how
What?
high up. I wasn't sure how high up I was. If I was on like a second floor or anything. I'm glad.
Upstairs, no.
Cool.
No. Upstairs is just the bedroom and a bathroom. It's not even an entire floor.
Oh, that hurt. All right.
Are you trying to sneak or no?
I feel like at this point I don't really need to sneak. So I'm just gonna try to
All right.
run away. Hope a neighbor doesn't chase me with a shoe.
Or a cat, or a seagull, or a hawk.
And we all know seagulls are the worst birds. Never mind. You don't get the reference.
I heard we all know seagulls something.
We all know seagulls are the worst birds.
Okay, I don't get the reference.
Understood. I'll have to show you later. Anyways,
Is it like a movie or is it like?
it's a video.
All right, then I haven't seen it. That's fine.
Bad lip
Going
sync.
on.
Bad lip sync. Anyways,
Watch it now.
yes.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
That's one of my favorite videos that they do.
Indeed. All right. So at this point, I'm gonna go further away this time. I'm gonna look around. I got a 11 looking around to try to be alone, and then I'm going to turn to human first and then normal size. So human first. 15 to turn into a human.
15?
50.
Yes.
I've exploded twice.
Well, you're rolling ones, you're rolling sixes. I see how it is.
And a 6 to grow back to human height.
You get halfway there.
Living on. Anyways. And an 11 next time.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Well, at this point.
Halfway there.
Oh, lizard on a chair. Wait, no. All right, I'm gonna start heading. I'm gonna start heading towards the beach. Buy a drink from a vendor. I'm assuming probably what, $2.
Sure.
Just like a water or whatever. And then I'm just gonna sit a bit away from people on the beach, and I'm gonna open up his bank statement.
Okay. How smart is this guy?
That is up to you. I assumed you probably built these guys out already.
No, I'm figuring it out as I go.
Oh, okay.
I never know what you're going to do. Anything I build up, you generally aren't interested in.
Well, these guys, I think, framed me, so.
I had no idea where you were going to go today. I still don't know what you're going to do next. With other players, I'm throwing them hooks to see what they bite. But, nope.
I thought you
If
threw
I
me
do throw you a hook, you are going to bite. And then you're going to go do your own thing. It's really annoying. It's kind of like the way I play when I'm the player.
We both think differently than other gamers do.
We think differently than each other. Like, I wouldn't do most of the things you've done, but I also do not work well with Rails. All right, you open up his bank statement, and the first thing you notice, it is not from the bank you work at. And he's got a checking account, a savings account, and it actually lists his IRA, which he has just made a big deposit into of $6,000, which I believe is the current max in the year 2023.
What, 6,000? Is that per month you can deposit in IRA?
No, per year.
Per year, okay.
It helps any it's a Roth IRA.
Cool. How much is in his savings?
It doesn't really stand out to you, but he's got about 10, 15 grand in there.
Okay, not too bad. And checking?
He's keeping about 3 grand in there.
I'll just say 2,500 because it's between the two. Okay.
Oh, he has more in the IRA, but
Oh, what does he have? Okay, so he deposited 6,000. What's the total he has in his IRA?
I have no idea.
Okay. Not a big deal.
I don't know how old the guy is. I don't know how often he's been making his annual deposits. The fact that he put an annual deposit in, what month are we in? May, June? Strikes you as odd.
Yeah.
Especially since, he was always crying poor from alimony and child support.
Good to know.
Everybody's divorced in this game. What's going on with that?
Bob's not.
Okay, Bob's not.
I'm not. Or am I?
You never got married, or if you did, you didn't tell me about it.
Okay. Okay. Can I head back towards the internet cafe that you had me find that other time?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. How much was it again?
I don't know, $10 an hour, $5 an hour. What?
I don't remember how much it was. That's why I was asking you.
It's a month ago that we tried this out,
Yeah.
so let's go with $5 an hour.
Uh,
I'm assuming they're really just trying. Actually, yeah, $5 an hour because they supply the computers and everything,
yeah.
which is really rare today. But let's go with it.
And if I remember correctly, you said they were on dial-up because we made noises.
That is just weird. I wonder what I was thinking. All right.
Maybe they weren't on dial-up. Maybe I'm remembering something from a sitcom. I don't know. Either way, $10.
You know what? Let's just say you went to the local library and used their internet.
That works fine. Yeah, they tend to have computers. All right, I'm gonna go in, sit down at a computer. I appreciate that.
Uh, so,
My character's
sir,
smarter than me.
you,
Yes.
you need to leave us your library card to use the computer.
How long?
Jerk.
What?
You didn't get harassed last time.
Gotcha.
Not that the guy's harassing you, but or the lady is not harassing you, but you need to leave a library card to use the computer, sir.
Oh, gosh. I had last time I was in here, they said it was fine. A local, but I never signed up for a card. To be honest, is that gonna be an
Oh,
issue?
that's easy. We can take care of that right now. What's your address?
Uh, I may have signed up for one before I got divorced. My wife probably did it for me. My name is name of guy on bank statement, address of guy on bank statement.
Roll your con. Why did you not take con?
Because my guys had no reason to have con. And I figured 4D would be enough to carry me through most interactions. 12.
I'm sorry, sir, but you need to have your library card with you.
How old is this
I don't
woman?
have a, I don't have a, I don't have you in our files, so
How old is this woman?
43, roughly.
All right.
Early 40s. There you go.
I'm going to use persuasion and going to try to flirt my way through this. Ma'am, unfortunately, I didn't have the luxury of having a wonderful woman like you as my ex-wife. Because if so, I probably would still be married. Would you be willing to do a guy just a favor and I just need 10 minutes tops. I don't have my wallet with me. I've just got some cash in my pocket. It's been a really rough day. If you don't mind just letting me do this. And I promise I'll come back and I'll bring a wonderful rose for you because you are just a rose of a woman.
Why did you roll again?
Persuasion. You could probably say persuasion seduction, but I'm not going that far. But I got a 25 for my roll.
I don't know how to respond to that appropriately. Like, let's just say she giggles and says, "Oh, you. Yeah, you can use it.
You are a wonderful.
Here's the password.
Oh, thank you. You're a wonderful and fantastic woman.
Oh, you."
I don't need con.
Yeah. Well, you don't need con when she botches.
I figured 25 was good even if she didn't botch.
Probably, yeah.
All right. So,
Seduction, by the way, is a D&D skill.
persuasion,
I mean, I'm sure it would be under persuasion, but yeah.
it's listed in one of the Star Wars D6 books. Persuasion, seduction is a specialization under persuasion.
I don't have time to look it up right now.
I found it when I was 15, so many, many years ago. All right, so looking in the system, 3 things I'm looking for because I know I've got limited time. 1, I'm going to see if I can Google and find the address of Security Guy's ex-wife. She doesn't have to live in Miami, that's fine. But if she did at one point, I know that if I look up somebody by their name, it oftentimes will bring up any, like, for example, when I look up my wife, her maiden name comes up as well. And sometimes previous addresses or previous towns or future town she moved into, that sort of thing. So I'm going to see if I can find her.
Give me a computer programming roll.
Will do. $16.
Hold on. So you find a number of listings. It's a common name, and
Yes, but any of them that would be linked to him. Just speaking from me myself, doing these searches before, I know that it will link to previous addresses and it will say likely related to Jimbo and Barbara X and stuff.
To get anything current, you would need to either get on Facebook and friend her, or get on LinkedIn and friend her.
Okay.
Or pay for a reverse directory search. Because every time I've tried to do one of these to find somebody, the only way I get any really good information is if I pay for a reverse directory search.
Ask me to help you next time. Anyways,
what?
Ask me to help you next time. I know the ways around it. I am not a stalker. I'm not creepy for those watching. I know my way around stuff.
All right. So, okay, find her address.
I'm fine if I don't.
Nope, you find it. She's here in Miami.
Excellent. Okay. That's done.
In fact, the address looks familiar.
His old address? His address? Or no?
Give me a knowledge roll.
Oh, 12.
She lives in the same house as the head of the bank.
That's odd. Now I'm feeling a little guilty. Oh well.
What was that?
I said
Now
I'm feeling a little guilty.
Okay.
Oh well. All right, next. Before I go to check him out, for the information I know and have, does it look like the IT guy still lives where he used to live? Do you want computer programming repair or investigation or what?
Computer program.
16.
Yeah. His address is coming up the same. Put in his name in the address and it still comes up the same.
Okay.
Actually, you could
You could probably do like a Zillow listing, or there's probably a county website that lists who owns which property.
Yeah, I've seen those before. Um, we've used them. They're generally fairly accurate, not always. Okay, cool. So I was able
Well,
to
maybe
confirm.
not Zillow, but a county website.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, 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 I agree. Last but not least, I'm assuming it is the case. Checking the bank manager. Does he still live where he used to?
Yes.
Wow, I just wasted a really good roll. Um,
That way you can botch when it counts.
I got a 22 for no reason. Um, all right. Last but not least, and then I'm going to get up regardless. Oh. Yeah, never mind. No, nothing I can think. Nothing I can do in a quick period of time. So I will sign out, go back to the librarian, smile at her, and say thank you. You're a lifesaver. I will be back with that rose, and walk out the door.
Right. She stares wistfully behind you.
Did she have a name tag on?
I'm gonna go with no.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, fine. Linda.
Okay, that's fine. I, I was fine with the answer being no. Sorry, I'm just in my head. I just wrote down Linda the librarian, and then I was thinking Conan the barbarian. It's all good.
Conan, the librarian.
I hope you saw that skit at one point.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
All right, so at this point, I've got a lot of stuff to kind of go through. I really, and as I'm walking away, Char is just thinking, I really need, I really need internet, a place to work out of that's not going to cause harm or issues to my family. I'm talking out loud, but this is what he's thinking. So I'm not talking out loud in character, but this is what my character is thinking. I need to
I got you.
I need to find a place to stay that's not going to put anyone in danger. I really need a cell phone. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of wander the beach for a little bit. Um, 1 second. I'm going to wander the beach a bit. And what can I do? So. Biggest problem is I have no money. So I can't even get anything legal adjacent. So to not keep silence here,
What was that?
I said to not have like awkward silence here. My my character is like just thinking of what he can do because he's stuck because there is not a whole it's not a whole lot he can do except to just try to survive. And he's realizing, one, I may have just kind of screwed up a guy's life for no reason, done a bunch of little annoying things to him for no reason. One of the other things I was planning on doing with the bank statement was sending it to his ex-wife. But I'm wondering if he was even involved like I thought he was. So it's also almost time for us to end. So I think
Yeah, it's
I
quarter of 11.
yeah, I think I will end this session with my character in ponderous thought because he's got to figure out what he's going to do with his life. He's out of prison. He is kind of in a really bad state and he needs to find work. Finding work is going to be more difficult. Probably going to involve Bob until I can make other contacts. And that, ladies and gentlemen,
It is a good place to break.
but once again, we thank you guys for joining us for our podcast. We probably will move away from the gaming a bit in the future. We just wanted to give you kind of an idea of, running like how sessions may go. Yeah, it's only one-on-one, but for those of you kind of new to it, hope it might give you some enjoyment that you might want to start doing something yourself. D&D tends to be a different animal, but again, a lot of it just depends upon your GM or DM, Games Master, Dungeon Master, whatever you want to call it. The D6 system, as Bees had pointed out before, it is a lot more. It focuses more on role playing because it is skill based, and as you can tell from my rolls tonight, you could have a horrible die skill at something and roll really well. You can have a good die skill at something and roll really horribly. When playing Star Wars, one of the ways I explained it to people was it's not likely. However, a random guy with a blaster might be able to kill Darth Vader if he's having a good day and Darth Vader's having a bad day.
That is true. It's also D6 and D20. So D20 was built off the D6 system. They, when Wizards of the Coast created D20 for D&D, they based it off of they didn't go from D&D as much as they went from Star Wars D6 role playing. That was really their inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you roll a D20, one D20 for almost everything, because that throws in a wide range of possibilities.
Yep.
So you can have a really bad day and you can have a really good day, but they work out their system by modifying the skills individually,
Mm-hmm.
so that if you've got plus 10 in something, even if you roll a 1, you're still rolling, well, not a 1 because that's an absolute failure in D20. But in D20, if you roll a 2, that's still a 12. That's usually a success, depending on how difficult the challenge is, which is also something they took from D6. In D6, they work their modifiers out by the number of dice you roll. So the better you are at something, the more dice you're going to roll. So when you hit a snag and you roll a 1 on the wild die, and in my games, I make you subtract the highest and the lowest die and just give me the number. Whatever that number is, you may still succeed. If you've got 8 dice in a skill, which is difficult but not impossible to do, starting out, it would have to be a specialization for a human, assuming your GM lets you put 2 specializations in a skill, which the rules are hazy on that. But even if it was 7D, you reduce the highest and the lowest, you still got the other 5 you rolled. You're probably still succeeding on most skill checks.
Mm-hmm.
So the game, the better you get at a skill, the less that your chance of failure gets, or the more important it is. So you're trying to do 3 or 4 things in a round, so you're hitting multiple action penalties. Well, you might fail a few of those because you're trying to do 4 things inside of 5 seconds, 6 seconds, whatever a round is. That's part of the system. And for the next time we do this, which I think is going to be in 2 weeks, because you have that other thing every other week.
It was actually supposed to be this week, so I might be available. I'll probably be available next week. They just canceled it because of the. We are doing this on Labor Day weekend, so.
Oh yeah, it is Labor Day, isn't it?
Yeah. So.
I wrote up that list of questions about creating a science fiction based fantasy world.
Oh right, we did that a couple months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so before we started doing this game. So let's review that on our downtime. It should only take 5 minutes to read through it, but then spending off times thinking about it, like at work and whatnot, and we'll start going through those questions and start defining. That's something I wouldn't mind doing it because we're trying to be positive here. Because there's a lot of negatives in pop culture, especially geek culture right now, and we're trying to bring some kind of positive to the internet. And honestly, at this point, that means we've got to create our own stuff.
Yep.
Because this is going to sound a little negative, but it is a negative thing. Corporations have bought some of our favorite IPs, and they're not treating them the way. They're not telling great stories. They're not focusing on the characters that we love. And that's okay. It is. There's nothing they can do to take away the memories I have of, well, maybe they could come around and hit me in the head, but I don't know why they do that to me. The memories I have of the great stories that have been told with the various IPs, the ones that I cherish. They're great stories. We've talked about those before, and we focused on those in some of these talks, and they're awesome, and they inspire me to create my own great stuff. And I think it would be fun to do a little world building on this channel before we pick up our next project, or before we pick our next project, and like set up the groundwork. Maybe even if it keeps going, write a novel together on this channel, or a short story at the very least, set in this world that we put together. So.
All right. Well, thank you everybody again for joining us, and we hope you all have a fantastic week.
Yeah, happy Labor Day.
Even though it's going to be a little late.